Welcome to part 11 of our Bowling for Soup Discography Tour. Today we're going to talk about an album that holds very happy memories for me, and in fact has the song that the name of this YouTube channel comes from. So I'm super excited to talk about it. Today's album is Lunch Drunk Love. It came out in September of 2013 and was completely fan funded. Granted, this wasn't an abnormal practice at the time. A lot of bands were struggling and having issues with record labels. And streaming was really starting to kind of take off and form its place in the world. So a lot of things within the music world were in disarray, and there were bands and artists that wanted to put out new music, but weren't really sure how to go about doing it because they needed funding. So they turned to their fans and let them know, said, hey, you know what? We'd like to be able to release some new music, but we need funding and we need help from you guys. And the beauty of crowdfunding for bands was the special experiences that bands were able to give fans. They were able to give out different incentives and different reasons for people to donate. And it was just all around a very cool experience for the fans to be able to dive into and be a part of. In the case of this record, Bowling for Soup offered digital download of the album, a CD copy of the album, in addition to special videos, behind the scenes looks, and a special song just for funding fans. Plus, the pledgers also got to have a say in the naming of the album. So, with all that in mind, let's get into this album, Lunch Drunk Love. And first off, there's a very special song. It's the track that the name of this channel comes from. We are talking about Critically Disdained. Straight out of the gate, we can tell that this album is going to be different. There's acoustic guitar leading the way with Jarrett singing over top before we get hit with the sound of pure rock. And we'll feel this throughout the rest of the album as we get a more stripped down Bowling for Soup, kind of getting them back to the basics with their old school kind of sound, but with the polish of the experience that they have now that they have been recording for so many years. Lyrically, Critically Disdain is taking a shot at critics and people that just don't get the band and how they're still here and alive and kicking and going to continue to do what they do, being happy, making music, laughing, drinking, and cussing. However, this was a rough time for the band. According to an interview that Jarrett did with Not a Phase podcast, it was in 2013 that Eric went through a divorce and Jarrett actually started going through his, and the band almost broke up because of it, because they had to be able to focus on those pieces of their personal life. But they did come back stronger than ever, and the people that critically disdained them no longer had anything that they could say because they were bigger than ever. They came back, they did an awesome job, and the critics had nothing that they could say. Now, since we broke up, some consider this Jarrett's divorce album, and even Jarrett himself explains that there is a lot of anger on this album that you don't normally get from Bowling for Soup. And this song, Since We Broke Up, still has a positive sound to it, even though it's about breaking up. There is a level of spite that you can feel in the song as he goes through and explains all the things that he's doing now and is able to do now that he's broken up with his lady and that they're not together anymore. Then we move into Real. I really like the guitar intro on this song. It's really out there in front and right before quieting down and taking a backseat to the rest of the instruments. This song brings out a good point. It's important to just be yourself and to be real. People aren't going to be perfect, and that would honestly, it would be very intimidating to be a part of a relationship where the other person is perfect and you have to be able to live up to that expectation. That would be very hard. Nobody's perfect, even if we might see people that way. Then moving into the song From the Rooftops, we get into a high speed, happy song with rhythm guitar right out in front and some background guitar embellishments, creating a positive sound. The song is about having someone in your life that it doesn't seem like it would work, but you're so in love that you just don't care and you want to shout it from the rooftops to everyone. And the entire sentiment of the song is encapsulated a little over halfway through the song where Jarrett sings, "Follow your heart, fuck everybody else." And he sings that over and over again, and you eventually get the picture. And it's a great song to sing along to, especially if you are a person that really wants to just be yourself and follow along to your heart. It is a mantra that you can take for yourself. Follow your heart. Then we have the song Circle. This was a song that was originally done by Edie Brickell and New Bohemians. And if I'm being honest, I actually don't like the original version. I had never heard this song other than the Bowling for Soup version before. And I went back and I listened to the original. So that way I could get kind of a taste of what it originally sounded like. And I wasn't a fan. I think Bowling for Soup did an amazing kick-ass job of doing this cover. They definitely made it their own, as they always do, but I think they improved it and made it much better. The original was very mellow throughout the entire thing, whereas the Bowling for Soup version They started out mellow, but they really brought in some fantastic embellishments and made it a very just big, exciting song. And they did it so well. It is a very melancholy sounding song, but they were able to elevate it beyond what the original had done, in my personal opinion. Now, the song Normal Chicks feels like Jarrett wanted to play the rhyming game because with each celebrity lady that he mentions that his lady is not, he comes up with a fun rhyme about what she actually is. It's a fun song about how he loves his lady because she is a normal chick and he likes normal chicks, just a real, genuine woman. No punk band would be complete without a song about breaking old habits and lifestyle choices and creating a new life and starting in on a new way of living. So I guess you could say that Bowling for Soup is complete because that's what this song is about. He's waking up and is starting over as Jarrett 2.0. And once again, we get some good gang vocals because Bowling for Soup, they just nail it every single time that they do gang vocals. They just always do it so good. And it's all around a fun song. Then Couple of Days. This song is an attempt at writing something positive, and he takes the time to express a beautiful time where he and his girl can run away for just a couple days and start over, just the two of them together out in the wilderness, doing what they do and having a good time and starting fresh. The next song, I Think You Like Me Too, is a joyful, fun tale about meeting a girl at the bar and going on a wild, crazy adventure together and realizing that you like each other. And that's the whole sentiment of the song is he's saying, I like you and I think you like me too. The song is mostly played on acoustic guitar with some added instruments layered in, keeping it bright, happy, and simple. Now, the song Envy, I actually find this to be one of the most heartbreaking songs on the record. Jarrett is singing about him and his girl being the best part of the town that they live in, and everyone thought that they would make it in their relationship. They gave it their best shot and raised hell, but it all fell apart. The reason I found this song to be so heartbreaking actually comes at the end of the song. After a really upbeat song overall, you wouldn't really know that it was a song that emanated negative emotions unless you listen to the words because the sound is so upbeat. But it comes down to the end, finishing out with some acoustic guitar, and the line that really hits is the ending line that he sings when he says, "Maybe I should call her and wish her the best, but I remember it's over, and this feels like fucking hell." The way this line hits is like if you ever had a really good dream and you're just having a fantastic time and you feel great, but then you wake up to the harsh realities of life. That rush of sadness that hits when you realize the goodness was only a dream is incredibly hard. That feeling, I think, is what he is explaining at the end. And if you have ever experienced that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's overall an excellent song, but also very heartbreaking. Hindsight is 2020. Unfortunately, it really sucks, but we don't know what we have until it's gone. But sometimes the person is able to catch the mistakes before they get too out of hand. Then others of us have to learn the hard way, unfortunately. This song is about catching those mistakes and starting over and trying to do your best in your relationship and to see how far it can go. Because unless you try, you'll never know if it will fail or succeed. So give it your best shot. And if you fail, at least you tried your best. Being left alone sucks sometimes when you're stuck working while friends go out and have a good time. Right about now is about being stuck at work and lamenting about not living a life a little bit crazier and wishing that he hadn't played it safe when he was in school because now that he's stuck working while others are having a good time and he wishes he could be out there, but he's stuck in his 9 to 5 dreaming of what could be, and it just straight up sucks. Finishing out the main tracks from the album is Kevin Weaver. This song is so catchy and upbeat, Jarrett takes the time to reminisce and to speak to each one of his family members, expressing the hope that they understand and see some of the good in some of the crazy and messed up things that he did in his life. And as they grow older, planning on watching their kids grow and be proud of each other. And this is the other time, as I mentioned in one of our previous videos, where Jarrett talks about his older brother and he mentions him in this song as well. And he always speaks about him so fondly. And it's so nice to see. But this is such a great song to be able to finish out the record. But we do have a bonus track. Now, the bonus track, Award Show Taylor Swift, which can be found on streaming now. Originally, it was just an exclusive for the backers of the album, but it can be found on streaming, whether it's on Spotify or YouTube. It is there. It is a simple and fun song about wanting to live your life in constant wonder, like you are Taylor Swift at an award show. Like everything is new and exciting and just absolutely fun. Overall, this album felt like a back to the basics approach. Nothing too crazy, not too many layers, just simple guitar, bass, and drums to keep the album moving forward. It's a lot of fun. There is some sadness and a little bit of rage mixed throughout, but Bowling for Soup what Bowling for Soup does best. Adding a little bit of levity and joy to a situation that would normally be uncomfortable and sad. I personally feel that this is one of their best records that they have ever made, both in quality and in the sound. It is one that you will just want to go back and listen to over and over again. And all around, it just rocks. It is an absolutely kick ass record. You should definitely go check it out. Listen to it. Let me know down in the comments what you think. And if you've listened to this album before, what is a memory that you have associated with it? If you like this review, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. That subscription is very important. We appreciate it. It definitely helps the channel. You can see us here on Saturday nights. We do lives every single week. And we will see you here next week. And thank you for joining us.